Hey guys, before I start the video, I just wanted to clarify a few things. If you're on the Xbox One platform and you need help, I do apologize if I'm not able to help you off stream or on stream. The reason if I turn you down it is because I have to do technical late game things and Warframe like Eidolons and Kuva farming in order to make platinum to keep things on the store for my reward system. So please don't be upset if I'm unable to play with you. It's nothing against you. It's just stuff that I have to do to make sure that I keep serving you guys as Twitch followers and YouTube subscribers. So please remember to drop a follow on my Twitch channel and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Remember to turn on the notifications. If you want more consistent communication with me, just follow the Discord, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Xbox, even though I'm not entirely sure how that works yet. Follow me on Twitch, and if you're curious as to how my giveaways work, just remember you could go straight to my Twitch channel, check out the commands list, and descriptions will be all over the place for you for whatever you want to learn. So thank you guys so much for listening, and on to the video. Hello everyone, Wolf425 here, back with another Warframe video, and today I'm going to show you the almighty Gara. She is a good crowd control. She's a mix between Frost and Nova, and the way her build works can be very, very energy hungry, dependent on whether you're playing solo or with friends or in the arbitration. So I tried to set up a build for each and every single type of situation, especially with her augment called Spectro Siphon, which grants a 50% odd of spawning an energy orb. So I'm going to get into the first build here, and I've gone with Stand United, a little bit more armor, power drift, continuity, flow, adaptation, narrow-minded, transient fortitude, streamlined, vitality, and stretch. So that way you've got a little bit of efficiency, a little bit of range, strength, and duration. It's somewhat balanced out, but you could go for a solo build, which I'll show here in just a second. So the way her abilities work, they all kind of synergize together, is you will cast your Splinter Storm to stay alive. You get a 90% damage reduction, and you'll see a counter on the bottom right hand side of your screen. You won't actually be able to see it when I'm in the menus like this, but when you actually go out and play it, you'll see that. So what you can do, once you get your Splinter Storm up, cast Mass Vitrify and try to do short cast for it, go outside of the ring, and then cast Shattered Lash. And that number for Splinter Storm will continuously go up to an infinite number. I've gotten as high as 3 million at one point, so then that way, literally any enemy you walk up to is just dead. Like, it's like going up and walking up to a balloon and popping it. It's like beep, like you're just taking a little pin to the balloon, basically, because that damage can stack infinitely. Like there's no damage roof to it at all, at least to what I know, unless somebody's gotten to like maybe a 24-hour run and somehow they managed to hit that number cap, but I don't think there is. So the Splinter Storm will go away when the timer runs out, and so will the stack damage. So the duration is 46 seconds and 42 milliseconds. So to keep that timer refreshed, you cast the Mass Vitrify and it resets. So you kind of see the loop here that you can do is you cast Splinter Storm, you cast Mass Vitrify, go out of it, cast Shattered Lash, and then recast your Mass Vitrify, cast Shattered Lash, and that makes your damage multiplier go up and up and up and up. You pretty much just keep restacking it to gain more damage, and you can just run up to level even 500s and you won't die. So this gives you the 90% damage reduction, and the Mass Vitrify, even at a somewhat low power strength, can actually act as a pretty good amount of DPS, especially if you go for a max range build if you're running on an arbitration where you have a lot of power strength. So you could go for potentially a lot of power strength if you wanted to, but then you would need a little bit more radius, explosion range of 13.65 meters to do more potential DPS. But this build, I feel Gara is probably a lot more potential worthy just by trying to focus on the Splinter Storm build combined with the Spectorage augment. So let's check out the build real quick. So like I said, you could stick with this build. If you want to, you can always go with this build and put in the Spectro Siphon. Or if you're doing arbitrations, you're going to want as much power range as possible, because if you're doing arbitration and she's got the 300% power strength, then there's no need for any power strength whatsoever. You have a crap ton of range, and you can just keep recasting that over and over and over again. Like I said, if you want to, you don't necessarily have to have that augment on. I went with adaptation because pretty much every build is kind of conventional with that, or you can replace it with something else. It's completely dependent on your choice. If you like to do support type stuff and you have good teammates who know what they're doing, and make sure that the enemies are always dying within the mirrors, because the way the Spectre Siphon Augment works, enemies that die within the Spectre Orbs have a 50% chance to drop an energy orb. So they have to be within the carousel of mirrors in order to get the drop chance of an energy orb. If you're in with a team of just complete random people who have no idea how Gara works, or just feel like going around running around the map killing things willy-nilly, then chances are it's not going to be a very good choice. So if you're not in that kind of team, I really don't suggest it. But that is the standard build that I try to go with when I'm with other people. You'll get some footage at the end of this of me using this particular build. The arbitrations, this is it for that. And as far as the arcanes go, that's going to be entirely up to you, whatever you choose to focus on, like crit chance or melee, secondary or primary or whatever. I don't know if you do Eidolons, but if you don't, then just really don't worry about them, because you don't need really any more extra protection because of her Splinter Storm, which therefore gives you more tankiness. As the Arbitrations build, if you just want to absorb that real quick, there's really not much too complexity to it. Like I said, you can go with a lot of range and a lot of duration. Maybe you can tinker around with it, get more duration, that way you don't have to worry too much about recasting your fourth and your first. She is a very energy hungry frame, I want to say, because you have to consistently recast that fourth and first, fourth and first, fourth and first to keep stacking that Splinter Storm damage. And like I said, if you choose to run that Spectre Siphon Augment, then you're also going to need the energy to play around with that as well. So for solo runs, because you know for a fact it's going to be just you, then I want to go with the Spectre Siphon Augment, because you know that enemies are going to be killed within that carousel of mirrors. So you can experiment around with this. Because she's already a somewhat pretty good tank by herself, if you wanted to, you could replace Prime Vigor with Transient Fortitude to give it more power strength, so that way you can stack your Splinter Storm even higher. Now you're probably saying, well, if it's going to be energy hungry, you may have a Spectre Siphon Augment, but how else am I going to be able to keep my energy up? Easy solution for that is Xeneric. Because what Xeneric does is Energy Pulse. Energy pickups grant 50% additional energy over 5 seconds, along with Energizing Dash. You just occasionally go into your operator form, use those two abilities, and it also energizes as well to keep your energy up consistently. But, like I said, you don't necessarily have to go for that. You could put the Transient Fortitude on the Blind Rage and replace Blind Rage with possibly another survivability mod like Prime Vigor or Vitality or Redirection. Entirely up to you. You could also do Adaptation if you feel like you're not going to last very long, or maybe Augur Secrets or Augur Message or Fleeting Expertise if you wanted to, but that's going to severely decrease your duration, but your efficiency will be high. So then that way you know for a fact you'll be able to keep casting Spectre Siphon and the other abilities, but it does decrease your strength a little bit, so you could always replace your Transient Fortitude with the Blind Rage, which is going to give you a little bit more duration and a little bit more strength. You can kind of play around with it for your solo runs, or you can use this in a comprised team of people who know how Gara works and how she operates. So say you didn't want to, if you are an Eidolon hunter and you didn't want to have to worry too much about your power strength, but you want to retain your tankiness, you could always go with the solo runs build and put on 2 Arcane Guardians if you wanted to. I have 2 rank 3. They stack at least until the next update comes. PC has gotten the mainline update at the time of this recording. There's no telling when we're going to get it. I want to say that there's not really too much else to explain with Gara. The gameplay that you're going to see, I'm going to show you the weapons that I was using, and this is my Soma. I have a Riven on it, if you want to copy and paste that, besides the Riven itself, and I think I was using Mara Detron. This was my build for it, also has a Riven on it. And my Zaw, which I plan on trying to make a video for soon, this was my build for it because a lot of the melee standards have changed. This is more status focused than crit focused like most builds are today. Again, always use the Xeneric class for Gara. She can be a very energy hungry frame, so if you also want to check out my video on how to gain infinite energy and health, and also how to hotkey health pads and energy pads to your controller if you're on console. As for my companion, I always take my Kavat with me, which I can't load because there's still this stupid UI bug that they have yet to fix, but it's primarily all the link mods and 2 tech mods for more survivability. And also, any sort of run that I go into, I tend to take as many Spectres as I possibly can because they act as a different form of bullet sponges, and you can also use Octavia or Nidus or Harrow or Volt any kind of buffing type frame, definitely make a version of that. I chose Octavia with the Archiplasmor because she can act as like a good crowd control, bullet sponge, and a bit of buffing all at the same time. As for my art gun, I usually take Imperator Vandal, but that's assuming if you've gotten to the farming in Fortuna and the Orb Valis. There's not much else to explain to her, guys. I hope you found this video useful. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them in the comments section below. Again, I'm on the Xbox One platform, and crossplay does not exist yet, or any sort of cross save. So please don't ask me what platform I'm on if I can help you. I'm on the Xbox One because I've had a bunch of people ask me and message me, can you help me, and find out they're on a completely different platform. But I wish you all a further adieu, and again, if you have any comments or questions, please let me know. Remember, everybody, strive proudly and howl loudly. Good night, everybody.
Arbitration is nearing the critical mass. After that point, no amount of life support will save you. The reactant is working on your relic. The spores have almost completely saturated the atmosphere. You need to get out of there. Life support activated. Life support has been replenished. Life support on the way.
Trying to get yourself killed? Allow me to assist.
Additional life support has arrived. mission to find out what's inside.
Efficient and effective. I take my leave.
Life support activated. We will all share in this bounty. As long as we can.